A spectacular sight as we approach our broadcast location in downtown Orlando through the air. A good Friday night to you, sports fans. You've come to the right place. It's the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg and our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. Hey, Dave.
Well, Aaron Gordon is progressing as a shooter. He said, what I've done is connected my three, my pull-up, and my free throw. They're all the same shot now. I'm going to keep trusting my skill, and eventually it'll all come together. With my motor, I feel like whatever I'm doing out there, I can just keep going and going. Kevin?
Tremendous athleticism. Thanks, D.A. And taking a broader look here at the year-over-year scoring trend for Fournier.
And looking at his offensive numbers from the past few years, it seems like teams around the league have kind of figured him out. He's having to work a lot harder for his points, and they haven't been coming nearly as easily as they used to.
And the starting lineup for the Timberwolves. Johnson is out there with Kobe. Then it's Malik Beasley. Then it's Karl Anthony Towns. And it's Russell in at the point. And for the Magic, Fultz and Ross pair up to make the backcourt. At the 4 and the 5, we have Gordon and Vucevic. And it's Isaac in at the 3. Now, Clark, midseason rumors now in full session. When a player requests a trade, how strongly do you think that affects team chemistry?
You know, Kevin, I'm all for players voicing their choice and actually having an opportunity to express themselves, but it can be detrimental if a player in the middle of the season makes it known that he's not interested in being there. It can have a terrible effect on team chemistry, in my opinion.
That pass into the paint, that is a work of art there, dead on target.
And it's Jonathan Isaac with the foul. That's his first foul.
Well, that was a quick foul for him there. The refs are certainly calling it close.
Down low. No good that time. And it's the Magic taking it the other way. They're coming into this game off that recent loss to Atlanta.
Yeah, they couldn't do any better than a shooting percentage in the low 30s on that night, guys, and that's pretty much a death sentence.
Yeah, I can't name a team that's going to find a way to win shooting like that. I mean, they never had a chance with the touch they had that night.
Russell passes to Culver. Lets a floater go. And it's Gordon. Oh, that was terrific!
My goodness! Hey, listen, Gordon once jumped over a mascot while putting the ball under his legs in a dunk contest. I mean, he's one of the most ridiculous athletes and dunkers we have in the game.
Here's Beasley following the bucket by Orlando. The pass to Towns. Shoots over Vucevic, and that one's good. Towns.
The inside-outside game of Towns, very solid. Not many big men can match him in that department.
So first quarter just over a minute and a half in. Fultz kicks to Gordon. Pass to Ross. Over Beasley. Rebounded by the Timberwolves.
That's the first miss for this offense. They've hit 3 or 4 to start.
Russell looking it over. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. It's on Markelle Fultz.
Despite the wiry frame, taking it up strong inside, and D'Angelo will get free throws. Shooting 2.
No good on that one.
You know, early in his career, there were questions surrounding D'Angelo Russell's maturity, and understandably so. That's the case with most young players. But of late, in his case, his improvement as a player and his growth as a person is impressive.
And the second free throw, good. And beginning his career with the Lakers, coaches wanted Russell to take a more serious approach.
Yeah, you know what? I think his last year there, losing the trust of his teammates, probably woke him up a bit. Sometimes you got to go through the adversity to recognize what you need to change. It's not enough to just put up numbers. You've got to be a professional in how you go about your business, and plenty to like about where D'Angelo Russell is and where he's headed.
Here's Fultz following the score by James Johnson. And a little over 2.5 minutes gone here in the first. Here's Fultz. Here's Gordon. And terrific work on the offensive glass, and he picks up 2. Gordon's got his second basket of the game. Timberwolves trail by 3. Russell passes to Towns. And he drops in the layup off the glass.
We know he can score from outside too, but close to the hoop is where Towns makes his living.
Here's Fultz. 11-point game his last outing. Passes it to Ross. Now here's Gordon, covered by Beasley. Tries from 10, and Gordon gets it to go in on the assist from Ross. And it's 6 points for Aaron Gordon.
And you can see he's got a little bounce in his step. 3 out of 4 to start.
And we're approaching about 3.5 minutes played in the first quarter. Russell passes to Culver. It's Russell with the drive. Makes it off the glass.
You know, he's worked on his conditioning since he entered the league. Russell showing good upper body strength there.
Fultz with the ball. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Towns against Vucevic. Back to Ross. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Fultz. Buries the long-range jumper.
Man, I like the quick catch and release from Fultz. A confident shooter who's ready to fire as soon as he catches it.
Now, here is Russell. T right on him. All sorts of time. Up again, and it's Towns on the follow. Towns has got his 3rd bucket of the night.
Seems like he can't miss right now, guys. I mean, completely in the zone this quarter.
Ross in the corner. Kicks it to Gordon. And then Gordon with the dunk.
Ross has earned his reputation as a team-first guy. Excellent at distributing the ball.
Now Russell. He's coming off a 25-point game against the Heat in Miami.
Boy, he was piling up those assists in that one. I mean, every pass seemed to be on time and on target.
Outside, Towns. His 3-pointers off the mark. Magic leading by 4. Here's Ross, and that one drops.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
Greg, you're exactly right. I mean, everything seems to be dropping. Impressive scoring here.
And here's Culver. He isn't playing a big part of their offensive scheme, averaging around 15.5 points a game. Pass to Towns. Launches a 3 in the hoop for his 4th field goal. 4 for 7 shooting and looking for more.
One of the great things about Towns is his versatility. Inside, outside, he can give it to you from anywhere.
Fultz the pass to Gordon. Back to Fultz. To the paint. Shot left block. The shot's good.
And they've had assists now in their last 3 baskets.
Timberwolves trail by 5. Now here's Culver. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. Gordon against Russell. And the basket by Gordon.
It's never easy in the NBA, folks. I mean, great job by Gordon to just dismiss the contact and still score.
Minnesota's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Outside Russell. Here's Johnson. The lead pass was put in just the right spot.
And they've done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotations and getting the ball in the paint.
Inside, Towns with the steal. And now Minnesota on the fast break. Johnson's got the ball. Culver's shot is off. Magic leading by 5.
And one thing the Wolves have done well over the past few seasons, taking care of the ball.
Yeah, you know, they squeeze it well. Low turnovers can be a double-edged sword, though. If you don't make many mistakes, maybe you're not being aggressive enough.
And the number 1 pick in 2017, Markelle Fultz out of Washington, 6'4". Clark, do you think he's more of a point guard or a 2?
Well, you know, at Washington, Kevin, I thought he showed the ability to score and assist at a high level. Coming out of college, I thought he had a chance to be really dynamic in both areas. Time will tell if that's the case, but I think playing the point could take some of the pressure off of his shot as he regains confidence in that part of his game.
That free throw good from Fultz.
And you look out there at the Magic, one of the taller teams in our league.
And, you know, that's a philosophical bent for the front office. They want long, athletic players, draft guys with great length, and then develop their strength and skill level. And I actually kind of like that approach. Have a philosophy, stick to it, and be true to it.
That one misses. Clark, a big jump in scoring, but I think a lot of that is because of the prolific role players we have in the NBA now.
Yeah, I agree with you, Kevin. When you think about starters putting up points, and then you have guys that fortify benches and can get points in bunches, the first name that comes to mind for me, Lou Williams. A designated role of scoring the basketball in limited minutes. And when he gets it going, watch out. Nobody quite like Lou Williams putting it in the basket as a role player.
Here's Russell following the score by Mohamed Bamba. Towns wide open. Good, and it's Russell picking up the assist. Russell's got 3 assists in the game. And it's Fultz with the ball for the Magic. It's a 5-point game. Vucevic rebounded by the Timberwolves. Towns has got 4 rebounds in this game.
They've been beating them to a lot of those loose balls and rebounds here to start.
Yeah, the half and half balls are going their way, and that's really a function of effort and intensity. You know, the ball doesn't discriminate. Whoever goes and gets it, that's who owns it.
Shot clock at 3. Steps back and shoots. And Bamba pulls it down.
Usually, guys, he's going to knock that one down from there. Proficient at operating in that medium range area.
The pass to Vucevic. Back to Fournier. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Vucevic.
You know, that's just sloppy basketball, giving away a possession. No real reason for that turnover.
Ken Burge is checked in for the Magic. Augustine comes in for Markelle Fultz. Here's Okogie. He's guarded by Fournier. Spellman the pass to Hernan Gomez. Second chance shot and foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
So a moment now to see the story on Mohamed Bamba. He showed up every night and some noteworthy performances over the last month. 5th in field goal percentage, and of course rim protection always at a premium. That's an important part of his game. Top 20 in blocks per.
And yeah, he's such an efficient scorer, understands the offense, moves without the ball so well. That's why he's top 5 in field goal percentage. He's off on the first.
And, you know, even though in today's game floor spacing is all the rage, the last 5 years the Wolves attempted the fewest threes in the league. And when they did shoot them, they didn't make very many of them.
He hits the second from the line. And on top of their troubles from range, the Wolves have also had trouble on the defensive glass.
Yeah, and if you can't rebound and you're not shooting it well, you've got to figure out who you're going to beat. Your identity is in question. That's what the Wolves are trying to figure out. Who are we? What do we do well? How do we win? How do we succeed? To get to the next level, they've got to answer that question.
Really crisp, intelligent passing to make that basket possible.
Pass to Hernan Gomez. The jump shot from the baseline is right on target. Orlando leading by 4. Here's Augustine. Looking at his numbers, he averages a bit over 9 points a game. Over to the wing. Minu finds Bamba. Puts it up from 7. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
Well, you talk about physical gifts for the game. Mo Bamba, a 7-footer with the longest wingspan, 7'9.5", and that gives him a huge sphere of influence.
And that one falls for Bamba. Right, you look at Bamba able to touch the rim while still on the ground. And he gets off the ground pretty well, too.
A good athlete, still getting stronger and developing his feel for the game. But he has something you just can't teach.
So he picks up just 1 from the line that time. Well, when you look at Mo Bamba with his size, around 7'1" in height, Clark, the longest wingspan, arm span ever measured at the combine, he can dominate inside.
And you know what, guys? The scary thing is he's got room to fill out. He's got room to add good muscle and weight to that frame. And once he does, he's going to be a nightmare to deal with.
Birch's shot's good.
You know, that kind of unselfishness, guys, from Augustine is really infectious, especially when it's coming from your point guard.
Timberwolves trail by 7. Here's Okogie. He's coming off a 10-point game against the Heat in Miami. Hernan Gomez, no good. Here's Birch. The dish now to Augustine. To the inside. And now the Timberwolves on the break.
I tell you what, they won't be down for long if they can get some more early offense like that.
Magic leading by 5. .130 left in the first quarter of the game. Shoots from 12. Again, the Magic score.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
And when you make 5 in a row in close like that, it also takes pressure off your perimeter guys, too.
It's 2-on-1. Bamba stripped away. Misses the 3. And here's Aminu. He brings it up for the Orlando Magic. They lead by 7. Bamba wide open, and he fires. A chance there to push it to double digits, but it's off the mark. Here's Okogie. He's guarded by Fournier, and the call will be against Fournier. That is his first foul of the game. There's 42 seconds left to play here in the first. Here's Layman. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. Over Aminu.
And trailing here in the first, you'd like to see them be a little more aggressive on the offensive glass.
Yeah, I agree. Not a lot of activity chasing down their misses. Some teams focus on getting back, and I understand that, but you should send at least one guy after those.
Back to Birch. Clock at 6. Here's Bamba. Minnesota with the rebound. This, of course, their first opportunity to play Orlando this season.
And with this matchup being an East versus West affair, it will be the first of only 2 meetings between the teams.
And, you know, there's always a bit of a feeling out process in that first game between opponents. A lot different than when you've played a team you're familiar with.
And so it's Aaron Gordon making things happen for Orlando. He got into double digits for the quarter with 10 points total. We come back right after this. All-star big man Karl Anthony Towns is hungry to maximize his potential.
I want to be the best player who ever played, and I feel that I could do that. I think I have the God-given talent and the God-given abilities to make it happen, and I have total confidence in myself every single day. I wake up that I could be the greatest player who ever played. I know if I continue to put the work ethic in and continue to do all the little things I need to do, I could find myself in that conversation. But, you know, obviously I got to learn every single day, never take no days for granted.
On his coaches, Greg and teammates love hearing that.
And how can you not? I mean, that kind of drive is special. And with his tools and potential, hard to put a ceiling on just how good he can be.
And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And a chance for just a second now to check out the scoring breakdown for Orlando.
You know, guys, we've really seen them do a lot of damage in the paint so far.
And something else that's stood out for me tonight is their efficient scoring in the low post.
And so in the game for the Timberwolves, they've got Layman, and it's Spellman in at the center. Layman pass to Okogie. No good on the triple. Orlando leading by 9. Fournier with the ball, and there it is for him. Birch has got 6.
Yeah, that was the third straight high percentage look the defense has allowed. The defenders have got to start putting bodies on bodies.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, D'Angelo Russell was traded from the Lakers and, in his words, was kicked on the way out. He's become an all-star in Brooklyn. Russell said, "It's a heck of an accomplishment. That respect from your peers, your coaches, other teams, it's a great feeling." And Kevin, given how it started for him in L.A., many remain shocked by Russell's rapid ascent.
Coming into his own, you're right, David. Thank you. And some changes here for the Timberwolves. James Johnson's checked in for Hernan Gomez. Culver comes in for Jake Layman. And it's Beasley in for Josh Okogie. Here's Augustine. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. Analytics, Clark, are such a major factor for coaching staffs and scouting staffs, and plenty of micro-analysis to go around. But some statistics can actually be a little bit misleading, don't you think?
Yeah, I agree with you, Kevin, and you can torture the numbers to say whatever you want them to say, so you have to be careful. I think there's a great place for analytics in the game. It's very useful in some areas, but you have to balance it. There has to be a blend there. Take, for instance, shot blocking. Just because you don't block a shot, that sometimes can dismiss what changing shots do to a team's defense or for a team's defense. The number of threes being taken. Effective field goal percentage is more important than raw field goal percentage because of threes.
And you talk about the best defensive head coaches in the league. Steve Clifford has to be on that short list.
I would agree with you, partner. I mean, his teams play hard, they play smart, they play with discipline, and that usually is a reflection of the coach, and a good one.
Catching up on the changes for Orlando. Gordon comes in for Bamba. And it's Jonathan Isaac in for Al-Farouq Aminu. To the middle. Here's Birch. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up.
And with the moment, let's check out some stats for Isaac. His last 10 games, he's averaging 11 points a game, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. The contributions he's been making on the floor have been a boon for this team. Great stretch of games for him.
Yeah, you know, they've given him more responsibility, and he's responded. And the way he's going, I think his role is only going to increase.
The first one falls. Terrence Ross is checked in for Evan Fournier. And so he makes both from the line. Timberwolves trail by 14. Passes it to Beasley. Here's Spellman. He's guarded by Ross. Back to Beasley. Shot to stop the run. It's hauled in by Gordon. Gordon's got 4 rebounds now tonight.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
It's good. Now he's shooting 6 for 7.
And, you know, over time, Gordon's offensive game has evolved. I mean, he's capable of getting it going from anywhere now.
And here in the second quarter of action with a hair under 2.5 minutes played so far. Inside, here's Spellman, and they call the foul, so he's got the and one chance here to make it a 3-point play.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight.
He's knocked down 3/4 of his foul shots this season, so he's right around 75%.
And I think it's clear he's gotten better in that department since last season. I mean, he looks a lot more comfortable at the line now, and he's getting better results.
And the young Timberwolves head coach Ryan Saunders, son of former Minnesota coach Flip Saunders, about as great of a pedigree you could ask for as a young coach.
Well, guys, you've heard me talk about the DNA when it relates to players. It's the same with coaches. I mean, Ryan has grown up seeing his dad coach at a high level, the late Flip Saunders, one of our favorites in the business. He spent his whole life around basketball, so he has a great way with players and a real good understanding of the game, to a modern-day approach for a young coach.
And it's Jonathan Isaac with the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Picking up his second foul here, has to be careful because they can pile up quickly.
For the Magic, Vucevic checked in for Kem Birch, and it's Fulton for Augustine. Russell high post. Scoring-wise, he's definitely making his mark. Right now, he's averaging about 19 points a game.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Yeah, you look across the board, it's actually sizing up, shaping up to be a great game. I mean, strong performances throughout, and they've really been strong on the glass.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
And so it's Russell with it. He'll bring it up for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Trailing by 17. Pass to Culver. Towns with it. He's covered by Isaac. Vucevic with the block.
Get that weak stuff out of here. You can't come weak like that against Vucevic. He's going to send it back at you.
And it's Towns on the follow. Towns has got 14 points.
You know, if you're only looking at the way he's played offensively, you think his team would have the lead.
Fultz the pass to Vucevic. Out left to the wing. Shot clock at 6. Here's Fultz. Karl Anthony Towns with the rebound. Towns has got 6 rebounds in the game. Johnson attacking, and he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. It's going to be on Aaron Gordon. Clark, you were so prolific in so many areas of the game. Which part of basketball came the easiest for you?
I think the rebounding piece. I always had a knack for sniffing out missed shots and had the size and timing and hands to chase down rebounds, but that was probably the strength of my game and the most unique part of it at an early age. And then the ball handling. My dad was 6'4" in the 50s, which meant you pretty much played inside, and he drummed into my head and my heart, make sure you can handle that ball. So from the time I started playing, I was dribbling and making sure I could handle it, and it served me well during my playing career.
Can't make the second free throw either. Listen both.
Well, they say the post-up big man is dead and gone in the NBA. But don't tell that to Nikola Vucevic, an offensive focal point, and he does some of his best work on that low block.
Timberwolves trail by 17. Towns at the elbow. He dishes it to Russell. And he banks in the layup. Russell's got 5 now. And you look at the footwork of Vucevic inside, his moves and counter moves. Terrific.
Shades of Kevin McHale. And that's something he's continued to develop in the pros. A response to defenders who often surpass him athletically.
Here's Ross. Gordon trying to break loose. No good from Ross. The Timberwolves have gone just 33% from the field in what's been a cold second quarter for them. Just 3 of 9. Here's Russell. Towns trying to get open. Russell, no good.
That is some tough defense there against one of the better finishers in our game.
Here's Ross. And the basket for the 4th time from the field. He's a healthy 4 for 6.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Really a prime example of the difference in how these teams have operated offensively. Much more individual play at the other end.
And there's the pass to Russell. He kicks it to Culver. And it's sent back by Isaac.
What a wingspan Isaac has. I mean, this guy is incredible at denying shots, and he loves to do it.
Just 3 to shoot. Here's Culver.
You know, you look at Isaac, and the first thing you notice, guys, is his length. This guy is really long, and that helps him on the defensive end.
And finished off by Fultz.
I tell you, he's playing the game with pure excitement right now.
He capped off that dunk with some serious hang time on the rim.
Yeah, just couldn't contain himself, couldn't control himself there.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Towns kicks to Beasley. For 3. That one, no good. Gordon with the defensive effort.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
And it's been a well-rounded performance. I mean, strong rebounding has certainly been at the center of it, but it's been good on a number of levels.
And one of the more transcendent athletes in the game, Aaron Gordon, still has some untapped potential. He could make a big leap.
And Greg, we've seen Gordon playing in a slower paced system. He was asked to play at the small forward.
Not ideal, Kevin. He's better off as a small ball power forward, getting out in the lane and using those springs to rise over the D.
Towns dishes it to Johnson. And they get it. He can't get that one to fall. And Orlando the other way now. Fultz the pass to Vucevic. Now here's Isaac. Launches it. Gordon trying to break loose. Isaac misses. Here's Culver. And he makes the bucket, gets the whistle, and now a three-point play chance here for him.
Yeah, and how about another trait for Culver? That elite body control, even through contact, special. Yet another player from the 2019 draft class who wasn't a top high school recruit. Jarrett Culver, 3-star guy, thin, unrefined, but in that sophomore year of college, boy, did he surprise some folks.
Juan Hernan-Gomez, he's checked in for James Johnson.
Mind the lane. Mind the lane. One shot.
And the free throw, no good. And Greg, when you talk about Culver, the one thing he did show in high school and again showed at Texas Tech, the ability to score.
Yeah, and he creates and makes shots against great defenders. Every team in the NBA is looking for that. His jumper, his handle, his ability to move without the ball, already NBA level stuff.
He's been ice cold tonight. And, you know, you look at the scoreboard, guys, they really could have used his contribution.
Shoots from the right block. And it's Vucevic missing.
Boy, great effort on defense there against a guy who typically makes that.
Beasley with a clean look. Good, and the assist goes to Russell. Beasley's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Fultz looking around. Pass to Gordon. Shoots. Another miss by Orlando.
He has to make that one. I mean, you have to make the defense pay when they slough off of you like that.
Watch him.
Russell kicks to Culver. Pass to Hernan Gomez. A three-pointer off the mark. Magic leading by 17. Now Fultz. He's got 6. Pass to Vucevic. Back to Fultz. Takes a 3. Score the basket, his third after 5 shots.
You know, it's one thing to have a nice stroke, but it's another to understand how to get yourself free outside the arc for your shot. Has a soft, delicate stroke, does Fultz, and it rolls off his fingers nicely.
Now, here's Culver. He's covered by Isaac, and it's sent back by Isaac. No good from Beasley.
No doubt it's been a bit of a struggle for him here in this quarter in terms of scoring.
And the basket is good. Got it to go through on the contact, so a free throw coming up. A great opportunity for a three-point play. And the 6'7" swingman, Terrence Ross, the number 8 pick out of Washington.
Well, you know, the shooting and leaping ability of Ross, phenomenal. I mean, I think the defensive end is where he can solidify his game and really improve. He's got all the tools, though, to be an excellent two-way player.
Here's what Orlando's going with right now. Bamba is checked in for Aaron Gordon. Aminu comes in for Isaac, and Evan Fournier subbed in for Fultz. That free throw good from Ross. Minnesota's gone 1 of 6 from three-point land in the second quarter. Less than 20%, but they've continued to let them fly. He's guarded by Ross, and it's Lehman in the corner. And so it looks like the Timberwolves will retain possession here. Already it's February. Let's see how the East is matching up. Taking a look at Orlando. Right now, the 6th best record in the conference, looking to hold on to playoff position and finish the regular season strong.
And right now for the Magic, they've stayed right there, just in sniffing distance of the conference leaders. That's a solid accomplishment at this stage of the season.
You know, I thought maybe they'd have it in them to actually join those leaders this season. But you're right, it's still nice work considering where they are.
And here is Ross. He's got 11. Out to the right wing. It's stolen by Hernan Gomez. And now Minnesota on the fast break. Here's a Kogi. Yep, that one goes.
Attacking in transition, the most consistent way to generate easy looks.
Yep, exactly. And if there's any opportunity for early offense, you've got to push it and push it every time.
Now here's Ross. He's guarded closely. To the right side. To the paint. Here's Fournier, and he jams it with authority.
And Fournier is really a total player. I mean, complete. A scorer who can really get up for the occasional slam.
1:31 left in the second quarter. The pass to Lehman. From downtown, it's hauled in by the Magic. Bamba's got 5 rebounds tonight. Got a piece of it. Towns with the steal.
And you look at how Towns is so effective on offense, and it's because he really has the entire package for a big man. Back to the basket, facing up, playing outside or in, off the bounce, or on the catch. This guy can do it all.
The free throw drops for Towns. And Greg, as you said, it's the skill level of Towns at his young age that is so incredible.
Very capable three-ball shooter, but he likes backing you down on the block as well. You step back and look at what he can do for a team, and there aren't really any holes in his game.
He's off on the second.
Towns, the first overall pick in 2015. A future MVP candidate. I mean, he's lived up to the bill.
Augustine, it's good. He makes his first shot of the game.
And of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash mouth physical basketball, guys.
Here's Okogie. Looking at his numbers, he's averaging about 6.5 points a game. Spellman the pass to Okogie. Here's Aminu, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. The Magic have shot 70% from the free throw line tonight, 7 for 10. And he makes the first. Two free throws for Aminu. Here's Okogie. .29 seconds left in the first half of basketball. That ball's off target. It's his third miss. He's made 2 shots from the field. For Orlando, they have been shooting right around 75% at the line, 9 of 12 so far. The first free throw is good. Two free throws for Aminu. We've got 22 seconds left in the first half. Augustine with the steal. Lays it up and in on the nice reverse. Augustine's got 5.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting it in the paint and continue to score consistently.
And out of bounds is the Magic will gain possession. Here's Aminu, and no luck with that time on the buzzer beater. And so it's the Orlando Magic rolling along with a 27-point lead as we wrap up the quarter. Their defense has been active and effective. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Kevin, thank you. Aaron, you all have played at a high level so far. What has worked for you?
We're just sticking to the game plan. You know, our coaches really drew up something good for us. You know, they wrote it out, and we're sticking to it, and we're executing very well.
Yeah, that's obvious the way you all have played. Thanks for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks, David. And we'll be back shortly following halftime to get the third quarter underway.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Greetings to each and every one of you watching at this very moment. I'm Ernie Johnson. Kenny the Jet Smith is here. Shaq is here. One half is behind us. Welcome to the 2K Sports Halftime Show. What a start it was for Aaron Gordon. He ended up with 15 points, 2 assists, and 6 rebounds. What did you think, Kenny, about what we saw from the Magic?
Well, they just about ran their offense to perfection. They pounded the ball inside, and the entry feeds were on time and on the money. It was a clinic to watch. The second half is going to be no contest if they keep getting shots 8 feet and in.
How about you, Shaq? What did you think about Minnesota?
Well, one reason they're getting roasted, a.k.a. blown out, poor rebounding. Way too many one-and-done possessions. I don't want to see guys dribble between their legs and shoot. Not enough fundamentals. Hey, box out 101. Maintain position 101. Learn how to play basketball 101. Things like that, Ernie.
That's all for now. Say goodbye to the folks. Thanks
Goodbye,
for joining us. Third quarter, just about ready to begin.
And there wasn't too much drama in the first half, but maybe things will tighten up here in the second. A fantastic game from Aaron Gordon in this one.
And how about the amount he's contributing in the scoring column through 2 quarters? He has been terrific.
And you know what? They've come at him a few different ways defensively, and nothing has slowed him down.
And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. At the 4 and the 5, we have Gordon and Vucevic. Fultz and Ross pair up to make the backcourt. And it's Isaac in at the 3, the small forward. And that's the group for Steve Clifford as we begin the second half.
Well, you know, he's still listed at 6'10", but when you see him standing next to teammates, guys, Jonathan Isaac is clearly taller. By the time he's done growing, he's projected to be a 7-footer or north of that.
It's his first trip to the line.
An 80% shooter. The work he's done at the line this season, one word, solid.
You know, guys, that's not quite the same success rate he had at the line last year, although it is somewhat in the neighborhood of last year's numbers.
That's good from Isaac. And Isaac doesn't want that 7-footer label, something we've seen before with the guys like Garnett and Kevin Durant.
Yeah, I agree. There are a couple of things that go into that when you talk about guys not wanting to be listed at 7 feet. He grew up playing on the perimeter and still has an attachment to that part of his game. And then I think there's also the feeling if you're listed at 7 feet, you're going to get stuck inside. But even more than that, folks tend to look at you differently when you're a 7-footer because you appear to be out of the norm in a major way.
It's a great move, and he catches the defense completely off guard.
Yeah, if that's a harbinger of things to come, he's looking at having a very big second half.
Pass to Vucevic. Back to Fultz. 6 on the shot clock. Goes to the reverse layup and drops it in. Fultz has got 11.
Not a lot of resistance on the inside, and they're taking full advantage.
Greg, the play in the paint has gone almost entirely all their way.
About 1 minute played here in the second half. Passes to Johnson. From the line, good, and the assist goes to Russell. Russell's got assist number 5 here tonight.
Yeah, you look at Russell, and one of the things I like most about his game is this guy has great vision and passing ability.
The feed to Gordon, and taken away by Johnson. Outside Russell. This one for 3. Rebounded by Isaac.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Yeah, double-digit advantage on the scoreboard. They've taken the initiative. They've played, I think, with more purpose so far.
And the turnover again by Orlando.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
For Minnesota, they've gone 2 of 3 from the field to start the second half. Now, here is Russell. He's covered by Isaac. He doesn't hit that one. And Orlando the other way now. Down low, here's Fultz. Fouled on the shot and picks up 2 points, so 1 free throw coming up.
And defensively, guys, they've been unable to shut down the middle.
Yeah, and they're really getting pummeled on points in the paint here.
And this is his second trip to the line in the game.
One shot.
And that one misses.
You know, Fultz is a guy who can easily take over a game if you give him an opportunity to. He's very confident and has remarkable decision-making skills.
Ross against Russell. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Russell's got 4 points in the quarter.
I like the play call. Very solid, making perfect use of the pick to get a great look.
Fultz kicks to Isaac. Pass to Ross. Vucevic against Towns. Vucevic to the pass to Fultz. Back to Vucevic. Shoots over Towns. Towns with the defensive effort. The Timberwolves have gone 3 of 5 to start the second half, developing a nice rhythm out there. And it's sent back by Isaac. Vucevic to the pass to Gordon. Fires the 3. Drains the three-pointer. Isaac's got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
And Isaac takes no time getting his shot off. He's got a lethal, quick release.
Russell kicks to Towns. Over Ross. And it's Towns missing. Orlando's gone 3 of 7 tonight from three-point territory. Up top, Fultz. He's guarded by Russell. And it's Vucevic missing. Minnesota shooting approximately 43% in the 3rd quarter. Here's Johnson. And Vucevic pulls it down. Vucevic has got 10 rebounds here tonight. So active. And then Gordon with the dunk.
And Gordon is a guy who is going to take advantage of these drives to the basket. Just feast on them. He's got a killer mindset.
And so it's Russell with it. He brings it up for the Timberwolves. Now the pass to Towns. Good, and the assist goes to Russell. Russell's got his 6th assist on the night.
Coming off a big game, his confidence couldn't be higher, and coach knows it.
Showing no signs of slowing or cooling down. They're going to ride him as far as he can take it.
Gordon, the pass to Ross. Over Beasley. No good from Ross. Timberwolves have gone 4 of 9 from the floor so far in the 3rd. Culver passes to Johnson. Here's Towns. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
A guy with the size and skill of Towns, Kevin, really hard to stop without fouling.
And a moment now to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from here for the Magic.
When they've had a chance to attack the basket at any point in this game, they've taken advantage.
Another thing they've done tonight is work the ball into the paint for plenty of those close-range points. You got to have those.
First free throw is good.
And, you know, the Timberwolves made Karl Anthony Towns their franchise cornerstone going forward. Cat signed a 5-year deal worth $190 million, and really it's not even a question. He's the present and future of this team.
The Magic making a switch here. Fournier is checked in. And with Towns in his extension, Clark, it would have been hard to imagine the Timberwolves doing anything different.
Yeah, you know, I think it's really rare to find a player so complete at this young age as Towns is. I mean, the production he gives you with his scoring and rebounding is really irreplaceable.
Minnesota shooting just 34% from the floor. Over to the left wing. Tries again. Gordon with the defensive effort.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
And you know, guys, I love his fight and grit on the interior. I mean, he never lets a shot go uncontested.
Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, one of the things that teams are more aware of in the age of analytics is the importance of sleep. Those teams are making adjustments. Morning shoot-arounds have been moved in some cases to the afternoon or eliminated altogether. There are many fewer teams that are taking red-eye flights across country. And some teams even give players orange-tinted glasses to encourage them to sleep. There's a lot of work to be done in this field, but the direction is clear.
Continuing to evolve. All right, David, thank you. It's stolen by Aminu. The slam dunk by Aminu.
And I think that play sort of sums up what we've seen tonight. Just simply being outplayed both sides of the ball. Smart basketball defensively, turning into easy points.
Pass to Towns. It's stolen by Vucevic. And here we go. Fultz heading to the basket. Kicks to Aminu. Back to Fultz. Culver with the steal. And now the Timberwolves on the break. Culver's got the ball. Drains the jumper to finish the break. Culver's got his second bucket of the night.
And for me, guys, this is an area that Culver should utilize more often, showing off that incredible feel with the jumper.
Now here's Fultz. Tight defense on him. 6 to shoot. Here's Gordon. And there are the Magic with another bucket.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Yeah, you can't say that with enough emphasis. I mean, the defenders are just not being aggressive enough down low. You got to play with some physicality in the paint.
Towns, no luck.
And he has definitely been struggling in this quarter.
You know, guys, it seems to me as though he's over anxious. He seems to be pressing, trying too hard, moving too fast. Just needs to calm himself down and wait for good shots. You know, it's really surprising that they're up at this point, given that he struggled so mightily.
Beasley. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. It's going to be on Aaron Gordon. The Timberwolves not set the world on fire at the free throw line. They're just 6 of 12. Free throw, good. Beasley. So for the Magic, Bomba's checked in for Vucevic. Kem Birch comes in for Gordon. And DJ Augustine subbed in for Markelle Fultz. So he gets them both.
Wow, they've made every free throw here in the second half.
And that efficiency, Greg, as you know, so critical when you're looking to overcome a deficit. You've got to be close to perfect and can't waste scoring opportunities.
Birch kicks to Aminu. Passes it to Fournier. And the 3 off target. The Timberwolves shooting is leaving something to be desired. Just 36% here in the third quarter. Lets it go. The Timberwolves again can't hit. Pass to Birch. Rebounded by the Timberwolves. Spellman's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Here's Hernan Gomez. And let's check out a breakdown. Looking at some stats for Gordon.
And his three-point shooting has gotten a lot better over his last 10 games. He looks so much more comfortable from beyond. There's no doubt he's got the green light to let it fly whenever the shot's there for him.
Okogie's checked in for Minnesota. Good on the second free throw. And so it's Augustine who will bring it up for the Magic. And there's the pass to Aminu. Here's Birch. 10 points for him. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Aminu, the pass to Bamba. Rebound, Minnesota. Following this one, they get to host the Mavericks. That game will be a quick pit stop before hitting the road again. Here's Layman. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Layman's got 5 now. Orlando's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Now here is Augustine. He has 5. Bamba finds Augustine. Got a hand on it. And now the Timberwolves on the break. Here's Layman. He can't get it to go. So Orlando will take it the other way. Here's Fournier. The putback controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
Just make sure you keep getting him touches. I mean, you love what he's doing at the offensive end. Don't go away from it.
Guarded by Augustine. Pass to Layman. Fires from deep. Aminu grabs the miss. Aminu's got 4 rebounds in this game. Fournier into the lane. Misses from close range.
Well, it does not get much easier than that, but somehow he came up empty there.
And that one hits back iron.
And the well is running dry for him right now. Nothing falling.
And, you know, you can sense his frustration. This is going to be a test of his resolve here.
Here are the Magic now.
Well, you know, they're in the lead, but he's still been frustrated from an offensive standpoint.
And not quite as aggressive from outside as they were in the first half, sticking to the high percentage shots, playing smart with the lead.
Guarded by Augustine. 1:52 left to play in the third. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. Here's what the Minnesota Timberwolves have lined up on their schedule. On Sunday, they'll head home to take on the Dallas Mavericks. Then on Tuesday, they'll be facing Drew Holiday and the New Orleans Pelicans.
And for their matchup with the Magic, you know they want to come out and make a big statement in that one. It won't be easy, but anything can happen.
And the first one drops. And so he hits both. Orlando's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. 1:42 left here in the third quarter. It's Fournier on the wing. Clock at 6. Now here is Augustine. Not a lot of room. Offensive rebound. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
And physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. A +10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know.
Guarded by Augustine. It's hauled in by the Magic. Aminu's got rebound number 5 here tonight.
He's been an absolute non-factor. 0 factor this game. Just a horrible performance from him.
Passes it to Bamba. Second shot opportunity. Spellman with the rebound. Minnesota's gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. We've got 33 seconds left in the third. Pass to Hernan Gomez. Over Augustine. The Timberwolves again can't hit. Well, Orlando's shooting right around 42% from the field since the start of the second half. Lays it up and banks it in.
Sensational ball movement there. When you pass the ball like that, good things happen.
The pass to Birch. Here's Aminu. No good. And so it's Orlando. leading by a full 31 points at the end of the quarter. They have made it very tough to get a shot off against them. Their defense has been stifling. We'll return shortly. And how about a look now at our assist of the game? Brought to you by State Farm.
And he may not be known as a pass-first guy playing out of the two-guard spot, but he shows here that he can dole out an assist or two when he needs to.
That's right. I mean, that's not his primary duty, but when the situation calls for it, he can do it and does it well.
And with the fourth quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. The Timberwolves shooting about 33%, not happy with their play on that end. A moment now to reset the lineups, brought to us by Gatorade, all fueled up here for the fourth quarter. On the court for Minnesota, we've got Allen Crabbe, and it's Reed in at the center position.
Yeah, how about that one? Able to maintain control and finish the play.
Yeah, we call that playing through the whistle. You know, he didn't give up on it when he heard the whistle. He kept his focus, his concentration, and he found a way to get the shot up and down. Well, you've got to give a lot of credit to Josh Okogie. I mean, he was the 20th pick in the 2018 draft and really well ahead of the curve as a rookie, and even saw starter minutes later on in the season. That's a great get for them.
Bamba inside. Three-pointer Augustine. That shot missing, so Minnesota will take it the other way. Timberwolves passing it around. And the wide open shot from Evans. And a kind roll that time off the rim as that one falls. And meteoric rises not uncommon for Okogie.
Yeah, and Okogie's done a really nice job kind of turning the impression of him around, because he wasn't highly touted in college, but I tell you what, he's proven to be an impact player because of how he can defend and shoot. Guys, the scoring efficiency for DJ Augustine peaking in the last couple of seasons. As he enters his 30s, he's showing he can be an impactful offensive player.
And along with the shooting, Clark, Augustine a pretty good passer as well.
Yeah, not a big rate of assist or a huge rate of assist, but what I like, he takes care of the basketball. He doesn't turn it over a lot, and he's got a really tight handle. And when you shoot as well as he does, no need to put the ball in jeopardy. Hold on to it and make sure you get a good look.
And the first one at the line is good. Clark, when you think of athleticism specifically, talk about the changes athletically we've seen in the league, say, since the 80s.
It's dramatically different. I mean, there have been tremendous athletes through every decade of the league's existence, but it's gotten better with improved training and more knowledge about the anatomy of the body and how to enhance its performance. But now it seems like great athletes are, you know, a dime a dozen versus 8 to a dozen back in the 80s.
We're just over a minute into this final quarter of play. Okogie for three. Doesn't go that time. And Orlando the other way now. Pass to Bamba. Over Reed. Bamba's shot is off.
And thus far, they've managed to overcome an off game from him offensively.
Passes to Okogie. Fires for three. Yes, and a nice assist from Evans.
And no matter who it is, that kind of D isn't going to get it done.
And so it's Augustine who will bring it up for the Magic. Pass to Iwundu. Shoots the three. Hits it from three-point range. Wondu's got 5 points in the quarter.
And an eye for an eye. Both teams working to stretch the floor.
Nothing like answering back. One team gets 3, you fire 3 of your own. Boom.
Fast break. Here come the Magic. Here's Ennis, and Ennis slams it in.
Well, if you don't take care of the ball, fellas, that's what can happen.
Absolutely, Greg. That makes the turnover even more painful.
What, you mean the throwdown at the end? I'll tell you what, fellas, I mean, the highlight shows are going to pain them even more.
Here's Reed, the pass to Spellman. And again, Minnesota will turn it over.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
Orlando making some changes. Vucevic comes in for Bamba. And it's Carter Williams in for Augustine. The Magic have gone 2 of 4 from the field since we started the final quarter of play. Intercepted. A good look from Evans. It's hauled in by the Magic.
And if you ask me what percentage of the time he's making that shot, my answer would be in the single digits.
Well, you can't be forcing a shot like that. You got to keep the ball moving. Get something better.
Vucevic down low. Over Reed. Here's Birch. Feeds it to Vucevic. Good on the bucket.
And they've gotten very aggressive on the offensive glass here in the second half, getting a lot of second chance points.
Here's Okogie. Clark, do you think we in the media overemphasize championship rings when talking about an individual player's legacy?
Yeah, I think when you talk about an individual player's legacy, a player can be a champion without a championship ring. I know there's another level of champion which includes a championship ring, and sometimes it gets distorted in my estimation because an individual only has so much impact on a team being a championship team. There are no individual team champions. Teams win championships. Being a key player or a role player on a championship team is certainly worthy of recognition and being held in high esteem, but I don't like to see championship caliber players being diminished in the court of public opinion because they didn't win a team championship ring.
Like Stockton and Malone.
Exactly. You could go down the list, a number of guys who just weren't, for whatever reason, able to get the ultimate in a team championship, but had championship Hall of Fame careers.
Here's Spellman. Pass to Okogie. Here's Reed. Vucevic with the block.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
Guys, that's putting it mildly. I mean, they've been absolutely dominant.
Carter Williams, the pass to Vucevic. Beyond the arc. Spellman with the rebound. For Minnesota, they've gone 3 of 8 here in the fourth quarter. Poked away. Now here's Carter Williams. He's guarded by Cram. And it's good, 2 points.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Hey, Clark, the NBA moved the presentation of the MVP award to after the conclusion of the finals. Do you like that?
Yes and no. I think you have 2 separate awards. You could have a playoff MVP or a finals MVP, which we have. And then you have a regular season MVP. The MVP is for the body of work done during the regular season. So I think there should be a clear separation between the two, quite honestly. So, no, I don't like it.
At least you're honest, Clark.
And with the lead, I like the strategy here. Continue to get the ball to guys who can do something with it.
If it's working, keep working it. That's what I say. Keep the pressure on it.
Here's Okogie. Vucevic with the block. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Vucevic. Pass to Crab. Evans outside. Shot clock at 5. Pass to Okogie. Shoots over Carter Williams.
Well, it's pretty clear the length of Carter Williams is what helps him cover so much ground on offense and defense. I mean, I think he does an outstanding job contesting shooters as they get into their shot motion.
And the pass to Awandu. Here we go, one-on-one. Here's Okogie. Goes up high for the two-handed dunk.
Oh, fellas, that was vicious two-hand monster slam.
Guys, I don't think there was anyone who could have stopped him on that one.
Well, guys, I'm glad they didn't try because I don't want anybody to get hurt out there.
Here's Birch. Awandu passes to Birch. And now the Timberwolves on the break. It's stolen by Carter Williams. And up the court come the Magic on the break. And Vucevic throws it down.
No higher percentage shot than that, guys. You love seeing Vucevic finish at the rim like that. Excellent aggressiveness there.
Minnesota's gotten just 1 of 4 3-pointers to go down for them here in the fourth. Pass to Evans. It's stolen by Ennis. Here's Carter Williams. He's off on that one. And it's the Timberwolves taking it the other way. Here's Crabbe, and 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. And the foul goes against Orlando.
Crabbe gives this team a lot with his versatility. Scoring, rebounding, defense. He does really everything.
First one falls for him. But do you think it helps the pace of the game with the NBA recently modifying the shot clock rule that after an offensive rebound, it doesn't go back to 24, it goes now to the new number, 14 seconds.
Well, I really like the rule because you don't have to bring the ball over the half-court line, which is 8 seconds, so it makes sense, and it does speed up the game, in my opinion.
Clark, we hear a lot about the young basketball players in this country, the good ones playing in the AAU system. Is that the best way to develop talent for the NBA?
It's one of the better ways because the competition level is quite good across regions and throughout the country with these AAU teams. I think there's some great AAU programs and some tremendous benefits to participating in AAU basketball. Some things are better than others with it, but overall I think it's pretty solid.
What a good time for the three-pointer. The fast break had the D scattered all over the place.
And it's Carter Williams with the ball for the Magic. Passes it to Awandu. Now Ennis. He's guarded by Crabbe. Pass to Carter Williams. Here's Birch. Shot clock at 6. It's good. Birch has got 10 points here in the second half.
Really hard to say enough about how good Carter Williams is at spotting the open man. He's got excellent vision and just a nice feel for what they're trying to get done in their offense.
And Michael Carter Williams gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. And Orlando making a change here. Bamba's checked in. Here's Reed. 6 on the shot clock. Evans outside. Fires from deep. Orlando grabs the miss. Bamba's got 9 rebounds in the game. Getting it done. Ennis. Rebounded by the Timberwolves. And there's the call on James Ennis. That is his first foul of the game. Clark, it feels like we're seeing more and more of this, but bench celebrations and reactions at both college and pro levels.
Yeah, you know what, Kevin? I think it's an outgrowth of the social media platform.
You're right. I agree.
I think there's no question because anything that can be done that's creative and fun is going to find a life on social media and maybe go viral. And guys know that. They're aware. I mean, this generation has grown up with social media. So they understand that they could be seen beyond just the arena if they do something pretty clever.
And you and I are sitting over here watching it. We're laughing as much as anybody else, aren't we?
Oh, I'm not denying that it's fun. I love seeing it, actually. But on occasion, it does get a little carried away.
And he can't get the first one. And he sinks the second. The Magic have got a pretty good rhythm going offensively, shooting 8 of 15 for the quarter. Carter Williams, the pass to Birch. Out to the wing. Here's a 1-2. No good with the triple. Minnesota's gone a disappointing 2 of 6 on three-point attempts here in the fourth. Carter Williams covering. Bamba with the block.
Boy, great timing and awareness there from Bamba. He sends shots away on the daily.
Orlando's gone into a funk from downtown in the fourth. Only one of their 5 three-pointers has found the bottom of the bucket.
Boy, I tell you, Bamba's wingspan and his standing reach is ridiculous. This dude was born to throw it down.
And turnovers have been the issue for him.
You can see the coaches have gotten into him a little bit about this. They've got to do a better job of taking care of the ball.
Carter Williams covering. And he uses the glass on the layup. Mark, do you think the NBA should consider expanding the use of replay? I know you personally hate to slow the game down, but you also want the calls to be correct.
Well, it depends on the circumstances, Kevin. I like the fact that replay is available and it helps enhance the ability of the officials to get calls correct. Expanding the use of replay, though, has to be done very judiciously. There are a couple of areas, goaltending would be one, where you take a look to see if that's the case. But I think flow of game takes priority over trying to get every single call right just because you think technology gives you a chance to do that.
And he knocks down the first one. Good on both. Magic shooting certainly a key for them in this one. 55% from the field. The pass to Ennis. Over Evans. Spellman with the rebound. Spellman's got rebound number 13 with that last one.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest, just a total obliteration, if you will, and you can safely say mission accomplished now for Orlando.
As one-sided as it gets today, you know, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, it's hard to think of what didn't go right for them. Game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was just on target.
And now on the year, this will take them to 28 wins.
And in the season series, they'll end up taking the upper hand with this first victory for the matchup, a 1-0 record against the Timberwolves.
And you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for Aaron Gordon.
Boy, he was absolutely relentless at the offensive end, guys. Smelled blood and went for it.
And the Timberwolves making a change here. Okogie's checked in. Off on that one, so he goes 1 for 2 at the line. Last season, the NBA announcing the launch of a league in Africa, along with FIBA. Clark, what do you think of that move?
I think it's another example, Kevin, of the globalization of the game and the NBA's intentional, purposeful way of expanding and continuing to grow the game for the sake of the business of basketball, which is a game that obviously you and I love.
And Clark, we see so many foreign players come into the NBA and play well. Not just play, but play well.
Yeah, and not just Africa, although
right.
A number of players from Africa, but a number of different countries have signed on. It could make for a more exciting league.
Shoots a 3. That shot is off. 20 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Evans outside. Jacks up a 3. Orlando grabs the miss. Here's a 1-2. The dish to Carter Williams. And so it's Orlando taking this one by a big margin. It was a tale of two teams tonight, one that was in total control, operating flawlessly, and the other just searching for answers that they could never find.
I mean, the energy here is just so tremendous. Fans involved from the get-go, and once they started to really pour it on, it was fun to see that rhythm and flow from their perspective.
And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. We'll see you next time. Have a